What up, everybody? It's Aaron here with Get Your Geek On as your host with the fantastic Robert. I don't have adjectives to look around to.
That's all right. Like, you can just keep calling me awesome things.
I will, because he is the best co-host in the world. So, guys, we are here, Talkin Geek, Season 4, Episode 8, and we're coming to bring you all that geeky news, all that geeky fun that we do. Mm-hmm. So
we're still full from the holiday.
I think I gained like Thanksgiving. All the weight that I've been losing. I think I just gained it all back in like a day. So
I mean, welcome to the American holidays.
Pretty
That's
much
what we do.
You know, oh my god, there was so much stuff with that whole time. So it's just going to be a lot more segment heavy, I think, on this one because there's not a lot of news.
Not a ton of news during the holiday week. A few things hit. We'll talk about them.
But we're going to kind of do our normal stuff and then maybe a couple different segments that you might like to see what you think of them. And let us know below any of the segments you like. Comment, let us know if you like one, if you don't, so we can kind of play around with it a little bit more too. So on that one, I'm going to do my favorite one though, because I do like take my money. And I need to put my mixer back somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I mean, behind the scenes stuff that we're not going to get into. We have been Sam's studio for a few weeks here. I think hopefully by next week we'll be able to be mixer back in the studio, and we'll have our normal setup. But thank you for bearing with us while we've been outside of our normal studio space.
But we get wands and stuff behind Robert. You can see. I think you can see him. Maybe. So, there you go. Now you can see him for like that second.
I got a big head.
So take my money. I think all of ours are now. Well, we'll go with yours because yours is actually out of the other norm, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just awesome.
It is freaking amazing,
especially for the James Bond fan. Yes. So this is a GoldenEye watch, right? So this is if you have played the GoldenEye game. This, it made its appearance in the movie also. But it's a watch that has the little health bar and the
shield
and
the
armor bar on the other side. It says it's a functional watch. So I think it's not too expensive.
Yeah, $25.
Tell the time. But we were kind of talking I don't know, when they say functional, like I was looking at the details and it didn't really say how functional it is. I think it just tells time. But it would be super cool if it just every day, like you could set it to like a certain time where it would just start bringing your health bar lower throughout the day. Like that'd be cool. Like it's like, oh, it's time for sleep. Like obviously, or having it be like a smartwatch where it was like actually tracking how much energy you were spending. Stuff like
You've been sitting so long, you lose this much health.
That would be super cool. I don't think it does that.
No,
but it just looks cool.
Oh my god, I fell in love with it.
Tells the time, and so it was one of those things. I was like, aw, bringing back memories, mostly bitter for me because I did not own the Nintendo 64, and so every time I played this game at a friend's house, they knew everything about it, and I was like, I'm a noob, and I would just get destroyed. And so, as much fun as everyone else had playing this game, most of the time I was like, can we play something else?
And I was the opposite. I always loved playing it, and we had to eventually start like ganging up on one guy because he always would pick Odd Job, and he always would shoot over his head.
Party foul. You cannot play Odd Job. That's cheating.
We all ganged up on him every time. It's like, who's picking Odd Job? Oh, you are? Okay, we're all going to gun for you.
Yeah.
And we're just going to make it hell
we used to have the rule that nobody could be Odd Job.
I believe it.
Because that's just cheating.
It became a hassle for a lot of people.
When you get like the golden gun where it was like one shot kills. I loved playing that.
Oh, heck
that was the best.
Because everyone's on par at that point. Can you just shoot one bullet? I really love that game. One of my favorite. I love seeing Jaws in it too, because he could be Jaws. I love Jaws from the films, even though he was such a out there character.
Over the top.
Yeah, but I loved him. I thought he was so fun.
It's good stuff.
So definitely go check out that watch. Let us know if it does work. If it does keep track of your health somehow. Maybe awesome. Go get something thrown at you, see if it goes down. Ow! So check it out, guys. Now we're gonna do. I guess we'll do your wife's next because that'll go in order.
Yeah.
And that'll be right here. And that is a Baby Yoda. Well, I guess I can't call it Baby Yoda anymore.
Grogu.
The child, it still says. So I'm gonna call it the child at least. Tumblr though.
Yeah.
So keep everything.
Spoiler alert. Sorry, if you haven't watched the most recent episode of Mandalorian.
Well, that was.
We know his name now.
His name is now Baby Yoda Jr.
Sure. Yeah, you can sip on your drink while Baby Yoda sips on his.
Yes, I kind of like it. I think it's cute. The little tea scene from whenever he first meets what's her name?
Cara Dune.
Yeah. I like it. I think it's really cute. I think it'd be perfect for any Star Wars fan. Christmas is coming up, so Amazon has it. Looks like it can be here before Christmas.
Nice.
If you want to get your loved one maybe something to put either hot cocoa in or chocolate, whatever.
Eggnog
is good. I like it. I think it's cute.
Cider.
Hot cider. I've never had hot cider.
I'm not a fan of it, but a lot of people like it.
To each your own. This is the way, I guess. Drink whatever you want.
That's true.
So, I don't know. It's cool looking. I like it. I think it'd be a good gift for anyone who is just a coffee drinker or any kind of drinker, really, at that point, for any fluid.
Fan of the child.
Grogu now, we have to call him. They need to relabel like everything from the child now to Grogu, or what?
I don't know. Disney has been insistent from the beginning. He is not Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Like, they've been like, he is the child. And, of course, the entire fandom was like, Baby Yoda.
The child.
And now,
Baby Yoda.
Now they're like, yeah, we've got a name for him. And it's not Baby Yoda.
Grogu. Baby Yoda? Grogu.
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 I feel like you even said on your social media, you were like, I don't accept this name. And it was just like, yeah, Star Wars is just, I have spoken.
I love the Jon Favreau, I have spoken.
It's like, it's Grogu. I have spoken.
Jon Favreau, if you are watching, please call me. Tell me why you named him Grogu.
That's pretty. I like the name. It's not terrible.
It's better than Tim. Like, if his name was just Tim.
That'd be like Monty Python. Exactly. There are some who call me Tim.
Exactly. He'd be like, Tim?
Yeah.
Just so look all confused.
That'd be funny.
So on the last one for Take My Money is going to be mine, and it kind of fits with Star Wars right now. And it's these. And it is chopsticks that are lightsabers. And you got red and blue.
So do you want to be evil? Do you want to be a Sith or a Jedi?
Exactly. I don't know. I like them, though.
They have other colors, too?
It says there's like a gray one, like Ahsoka's, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
That grayish white, or that bright white.
Yeah.
I liked hers. I feel like I'd get that
She's
because...
not cool. I think those ones
in the middle.
I think those ones only work though if they're lit up. like if they're not lit up, it's just like, oh, those just look like normal chopsticks.
Right? It's just like you got normal chopsticks. Shut up.
So yeah.
I don't know. The blue and red. I think it's just cool. I love sushi. I love trying to like eat with chopsticks. I've gotten better over the years, so I think this would be cool to still like have and eat with.
Be a little nerdy.
It reminds me of the Star Wars Family Guy. Where he has the mini lightsaber that's really a butter knife. He just cuts it. That's what I see these as.
Yeah. That's pretty funny.
That's all I want now.
It's like a cheese knife. Yeah,
because he cut it like toast or melts it or something, I think. I can't remember.
No, it's like a little block of cheese. That
is it cheese he's cutting?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then like he tastes it and he's like, ugh.
That's right.
That's not even good.
That's why I think of when I see these, is I think of that.
Yeah.
So, but to go check out the Take My Money, guys. Again, none of this is sponsored by us. We don't get any affiliate, nothing with them right now.
You can see I am not modeling the James Bond watch.
No,
I totally would if that's an Etsy thing. So
yeah, Etsy, yeah. Go support local businesses in that sense too.
Yeah, for sure.
Help them out
for sure.
So, I saw this book, and I'm not going to ask a question from the book, but we're going to do another little thing called What If.
What if?
So Marvel has like their What If comics. What would happen if this happens or this happens?
Yeah, they actually have a show coming out on Disney Plus that's going to be like What If Phase 1. And so I think there's 23 movies in Marvel Phase 1, the MCU, and they're going to do an episode for each one with just one small change. So I'm looking forward to that.
That would be fun. I would like it. So I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
What if?
Ooh. What if?
And it's going to be geek related, guys, on all these. And this is a very typical one, and I know you're more of a Batman fan than I am. So, what if no one went down Crime Alley that night? Do you think Batman would still have happened at all?
So you're asking me, would Bruce Wayne have become Batman without his parents dying?
Yeah, not like, what happens if they lived, like just, they never went down that alley. That's just, they made a right instead of a left, kind of thing. Never went down, they never died. He grows up. Do you think he could have still become Batman? Or do you think now with parental influence?
I don't think so. I mean, he's driven by the loss of his parents. So I think if you take that away from him, he doesn't become vengeance, which is really kind of what Batman is. Like there was something I saw where it was like Batman being kind of, like dishing out justice. And I'm like, that's really not Batman. Batman's just anti-crime. Yeah. Like, he's like, I don't know that it's justice for a petty criminal to be beaten to a pulp.
Yeah.
Batman will beat a petty criminal to a pulp.
You'll learn justice.
He's kind of, again, he's just more anti-crime. So I think, if he, there's certainly a possibility that as he grows older, he becomes disillusioned and that is something that, he wants to fight crime, but I don't think he would do it as a vigilante. I think he would do it more in the vein of, kind of a rich person,
here's a bunch of money to the cops.
Philanthropy,
kind of
something like that, yeah.
Okay, so you don't even think he'd become more like Iron Man, maybe? Like build gadgets to be like, ooh, I can be...
I mean, every hero is born out of tragic circumstances. Mm-hmm. So Iron Man becomes Iron Man because, he gets kidnapped and has a near-death experience and all those things. And without that, I don't think Batman becomes a vigilante hero.
Okay. That's interesting. That's why I was wondering what you thought, because, that was...
do you agree? Do you disagree?
I do agree, actually. I think that I agree with you in the sense that every superhero is born out of tragedy, and and same with supervillain though. They are also born out of tragedy.
100%.
So you can go either way.
Yeah. I think even someone like Superman, he doesn't really truly choose to become Superman until after his dad dies, and he has that kind of, that's what death,
Yeah, and that's true. Death usually pushes the right way. Uncle Ben dying. Like you said, and for Iron Man, it wasn't. I don't think it was as much as the getting kidnapped as it was losing. What's his name?
Jensen.
When Jensen died, I think that's when it really, really hit him harder.
Yeah, well, it's definitely that personal responsibility that he feels. Sure.
So I agree with you. I think without his parents dying, I think he'd be the typical. Oh, you need some money? Here's like $100 million to the Gotham Police Department to fight the Joker or whoever.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is, they even address it in something like Civil War, but it's certainly been addressed in a lot of comics is, do these supervillains, do they rise because of, superheroes? I mean, that's almost like that problem of escalation. Again, they even touch on it at the end of Batman Begins, where, he's having that conversation with Gordon. It's like we get... armor, body armor, and they get body piercing, armor piercing rounds. Like there's always, it's like who's taking that next step. And so if there's no Batman, is there a Joker?
Ooh.
He would
never fall in the chemicals. He would have just robbed the place and ran off.
I mean, depending on which version of
there's
the
so
Joker
many
we're talking about. Yeah.
So, that's what I was wondering. And let us know below what you think. Would Batman have become a vigilante? Would he have just been the normal billionaire playboy kind of guy?
Probably.
That's what I think. I think he would just become a normal billionaire playboy and do nothing. So, I know, random what if, but I thought we'd do that. Let us know what you think. Do you think there's other ones we could, do below? Ask us below too. Like, hey, what if, this happens instead of that?
Sure.
And let us know.
We'll see.
So, the other thing is... I told Robert this off camera to think of sound like superheroes and stuff. I want to do another segment called Restaurants. I don't have a girl name for it yet. Mm-hmm. So that's the working title. All right? Shut up. This was what I was thinking about a couple of days ago.
Super Eats.
Oh, you know what? I like that. Super Eats. We'll go with that. New working title, Super Eats. It'll change in the next 30 seconds again. So I'm going to name a restaurant.
Okay.
And we're going to pick what superhero would go with that restaurant.
Okay.
And I'm going to start with McDonald's. We already talked a little about that, so let's start with McDonald's. Mm-hmm. I say Batman because they add Mick in front of everything. Batman adds Bat in front of everything.
Right. Batarangs,
Batmobile, Bat Repellent.
Sure.
Bat Repellent, I guess? Bat Shark Repellent? I don't know. Like, everything is Bat.
Well, it's the metallic shark Bat Repellent spray.
Somewhere's Bat in there, and I'm sure he has bat rope, he has bats, and everything.
Yeah, everything's bat something.
So I think he would fit McDonald's because they're both also billionaires. Like McDonald's, if he was a real person, would be a billionaire.
Yeah.
So I think that would fit.
I think on the one hand, I see where you're going with that, but I also, I think McDonald's sucks, and Batman doesn't suck.
And I agree.
And so I actually. And not that I think Superman sucks either, but I also, McDonald's feels very American to me.
America.
And that's kind of Superman, too. Okay. It's like, truth, justice, and the American way. And it feels like McDonald's is like, chicken nuggets diarrhea in the American way. And you're like, yeah, all right, or McNuggets if you will.
It's McNuggets. Which again is McFries.
Yeah, it helps with your Batman. I get it, but
I get where you're coming from though. I can see that. So that's who we think. Who do you think from McDonald's? Because I'm curious what anyone else thinks. Maybe there's a superhero we didn't think of that could fit this. Just like nope, it'd be this guy to the T. Burger King.
Aquaman.
Why Aquaman? I want to ask that. I'm curious.
Well, so he's a king.
Yeah.
So you got to go with Burger King. He's never like Burger King is always second fiddle to McDonald's. And Aquaman is always just kind of that lower tier of the Justice League. Like he's not anyone's favorite.
Yeah.
But the people that do love it will like hardcore and they'll be vocal about loving it. And I feel like that's how Aquaman defenders are.
I can see that.
And so, yeah, I mean, that just is immediately what came to mind. Is just like Aquaman, where it's like, man, he's not really that cool, but I guess.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I'll go there once in a while. Like, I'll visit, the underwater city of Atlantis once in a while. It's cool. Okay, interesting.
What about you? You got a different one for Burger King?
Hawkeye.
Aww.
And the reason I say Hawkeye is he's the underdog.
Second tier.
He's always second tier, like you said. He is perfect second tier to everybody. He's there to beef everybody up. Hell, he'll go even be like, I'll take my competitors.
I was sticking in DC, so I got you.
You got that.
Marvel.
Okay.
I mean, Hawkeye is a little bit of the Aquaman of, really like the Avengers. Like he's,
And again, the same thing. If you love Hawkeye, you love Hawkeye. Like there's hardcore Hawkeye fans out there.
There are.
And I feel you're right, Burger King, there's those hardcore fans and there's Hawkeye. Like,
and they're very vocal about it.
They are.
It's like if you love McDonald's, you don't have to be all out like telling everyone that you love McDonald's. Like if you love Batman or Superman, you're not out there like telling everyone that that's your favorite because that's everybody's favorite.
Exactly.
But like if you're a hardcore Aquaman or Hawkeye lover, like you're like, oh my god,
look at this thing I found him in. He's so cool. And see, the other reason I picked Hawkeye.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember the King from when they were like pushing that whole thing. The person that was
Yeah.
I feel that would be Hawkeye because like. He's trying over the top to get to people to like him, and he has his own little video games that if you went to like Burger King, you get those video games for like $1 or $2 or something.
Right.
And I feel Hawkeye would be that. Like, man, I need to drive a company. I'll go be in the commercial, guys, and just like shoot
it's
the
a little
arrows.
like Smart Hulk from like Avengers Endgame, where he's like, take a picture with me.
That's true too. But I think Hawkeye would do that because he's over the top sometimes like that in the comics. So it's like. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, have you seen his like purple mask?
Yes. See, big old head and perfect.
I gotcha.
Perfect one. So my last one, Sonic. It's gonna be a tough one, I think.
Sonic. All right. So this is where I'm going with this.
Okay. Let me hear what you got.
And I'll give you my backstory on Sonic. Right. Okay. So growing up in the Midwest in the Chicagoland area. We did not have Sonics around, but we got Sonic commercials. And those commercials were awesome.
I know,
like they were hilarious. They made the food look good, all that stuff. And the first time I had Sonic, I was like, this is straight up disgusting. So, here's where I'm going with Sonic.
Okay.
Sonic is Cyclops. Because he looks awesome. You think he's going to be cool, and then it sucks. It sucks so bad. So Sonic is Cyclops.
Oh my god. I like it though. Because mine's an X-Men too.
Alright.
But I like yours more now. Because it makes sense. Like you think he's cool, you want to like him, and then you get there, it's a crybaby.
It's like, oh, dang it. Why are you're surrounded by so many cooler characters like Iceman, like Beast, like Wolverine, like Magneto, like there's Storm, there's just Jean Grey, like there's so many cooler characters. And you're like, oh man, I thought you were gonna be awesome, and you're just not.
Oh my god, I mean, that's a good one. I like that. It beats what I was thinking.
Well, I still want to hear what you were thinking.
I was still X-Men.
Okay.
I honestly was thinking Leech. Because it's always where everyone else is at.
I don't even know who Leech is.
So did you watch the X-Men movies, right? The first ones?
Yeah.
Okay, X3, the one who could take the powers away from everybody when they got in a certain field of him.
Okay.
That's Leech.
Okay.
What his ability is he takes away all other mutant abilities. So he can touch you. In the comics, he touches you and you lose all your powers.
Okay.
So I feel Sonic is like that. Like, first of all, it's the name because it leeches off everybody else. Like, I always see a Sonic, and there's always, like, 6 or 7 other, like, fast food restaurants near it.
Sure.
So it's like, oh, I need to feed off that power. Like, I'm going to feed off of that. So I'm leeching. Mm-hmm. So the name. I mean, I guess I can go Rogue, because Rogue touches and gets how she gets her power.
Yeah, but Rogue's cool.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to use Rogue. So, and Leech is such a forgettable character. Like, you don't know who he is. If you don't watch the movies, you really don't even know who he is. But yeah, so his power is to take away other powers. Yeah. And I feel he's just like, no one cares about him. Nobody remember he's exists.
Like, this is the thing with Sonic is like their branding is so on point. Yeah. And so that's why the Leech one doesn't make sense to me because I'm like, who the heck is that? Like, makes sense. It has to be someone well known, but then they suck.
I mean, to me, he sucks too. But because he's a one trick pony. That's all he can do. Take away your powers. And what does Sonic have? That's all they got.
I guess.
That's the other thing. And it's because they have a million different drink combinations. That's it.
They can't do that anymore, especially with those Coke machines now, where you can make your own drink.
They're like
you don't even need Sonic anymore.
One day, Sonic's just gonna be the Coke machine out, just sitting out in like the middle of nowhere, just one little Coke machine.
No, I'm good. I don't need Sonic.
That's what I was thinking of because my mind was like, I like the name because it play off the name, and that he tries to like take away all the other like superhero like the restaurant's powers by like, hey, come to us. They're so packed. You should just come to us because look, there's no one here.
There's no one here, so and we'll roller skate your food out to you.
As your little car hop just falls on their face, it's like, oh, well, we gotta go make your food again. You wait another 20 minutes to get your food. Oh my god! I remember one time with Sonic too. I'm gonna throw this out there. I waited my Elena's mother was pregnant at the time with her. Mm-hmm. I waited at Sonic for like because she was well I'm sure you faced it with the whole I want this to eat or whatever those hunger cravings.
Well, pro tip: get pregnant in a pandemic because I can't do any of those things.
Pro tip, guys. Go do it now.
You're running out of time.
Yeah. You gotta hurry up. So mine, she was all obsessed with something from Sonic. I forgot what it was. So
probably the Sonic Ice.
Probably, I can't remember.
It's their one trick.
See, Leech. His one trick is to steal your power.
Optic Blasts. I'm still going Cyclops.
I mean, I'm switching Cyclops. I'll be honest. I'm totally on board with Cyclops. So I remember going there and I waited, no joke, for like whatever it was that she wanted. I want to say like a milkshake at the time or something, and like a drink. I waited 45 minutes. It was like 3 cars there that I kept telling them, just give me my money back. Just give me my we're coming. And that's what it was. I came home and I got yelled at so bad. I'm like, it's not my fault. It was Sonic's. Like, I legit stood there for like
always Sonic's fault. It's always Cyclops' fault.
It is, and that's why I'm like, I agreed with Cyclops. Like, mine's out the window. I feel like I'd buy Leech. It was a good idea. Like, I get where I was going with it myself, but it's like, I really like the Cyclops idea better. So let us know below who you think would fit Sonic to McDonald's or Burger King. I think Robert's right with Cyclops. I don't know if you have something that beats it. Let me know what beats it.
I'm trying to think of like other characters that look cool but actually suck. There are a lot of them.
There's one other one that came to mind, but I don't know if I could get his name quick enough.
I don't know. The other one I thought was like the first movie version of Juggernaut that we got.
Oh my god.
But also like Juggernaut actually is a cool character. They just totally butchered him in that movie.
Thunderbird. That was the other guy I was thinking of. Thunderbird. I think it's him. X-Men is where I fall a little shy with. I'll be honest with everybody.
Yeah.
I believe his name is Thunderbird. He's like this big, like he's a Native American superhero. He's a big, bulky guy. Always wields like these 2 daggers, and he's like, oh, I can take on anybody kind of guy. Mm-hmm. He gets killed in like the first issue you see him. And it's just like, you're dead.
Well, what is that? The original. So I just started rewatching the animated X-Men from like the 90s or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like the first episode. And like they're doing the whole introduction of all the characters. And then in the first episode, it's like, it's like all of them plus one guy named Morph. And I'm like, who the heck is Morph? I don't remember any of this. And he dies immediately.
Yeah. It's like, yep, well, that's why.
Oh. Like that's why he's not in the introduction.
Exactly.
With everyone else.
Who's going to die? Well, she's in the introduction. I don't know who this guy. Oh, dead. Yep, that's why.
There he goes. Yeah,
it's the red shirt, random red shirt number 1.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So yeah, like I think that's his name. But yeah, he's like that too. He's like kind of like Cyclops. He comes out big, hulking looking guy, and they just like off him. And every time they remade him, and he comes back, he dies again. It's just like you're really cool looking, but you keep dying. Yeah. I don't know.
Sorry.
Someone correct me on his name. I'm sure there's somebody out there if I'm wrong. I think it's Thunderbird, but sure. I could be wrong. I'm not strong on X-Men, guys. I will never lie about that. I don't know him very well. So moving on to the news segment.
The news.
There wasn't a lot, like we said.
Yeah.
Just a few different things have come out.
I think
this week.
Number one, we should probably talk about David Prowse, who was the original Man in the Suit of Darth Vader. He passed away at the age, I think, of 85? 84?
85, you're right, sorry.
As an English actor, he was actually cast mainly for his size, although he was an actor, but he was, huge. Yeah. And actually, he told the story several years ago that he was actually offered either or, Chewbacca or Darth Vader.
Ooh, really?
And he chose Darth Vader because, in his words, you always remember the villain. So he wanted to be Darth Vader. He's not wrong. I mean, Darth Vader was, of course, popular. I think my favorite story... kind of David Prowse as Darth Vader is that he did not know, and this is kind of a shitty thing that George Lucas did. He didn't know that someone else was going to be providing the voice for Darth Vader, because every time they filmed and everything, he would say all the lines, he would do all those things. But, he had, kind of that proper English accent and all that stuff. And so, it wasn't very menacing, if you will. So he didn't know until he went to see the premiere of the movie that James Earl Jones had dubbed all his dialogue. And so it's kind of like a little bit of a crappy thing, but it's also kind of funny when you think about it. And then, of course, he knew moving forward, as he did Darth Vader in Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, that would be the case. But he did not know about the twist in Empire Strikes Back, because when they were shooting, they shot it with a different line. And only Mark Hamill knew, and James Earl Jones obviously knew that the line was, "No, I am your father," as opposed to, because the line that they had David Prowse say was, "I killed your father." And so that's what, again... Everyone on set thought that's what it was. Mark Hamill was told so that he could have the proper reaction. And then, obviously, James Earl Jones had to know because he dubbed that line. Yeah. But David Prowse had said for years that he would have played the scene differently if he had known the actual line. So it's kind of interesting just to hear those kind of things. But R.I.P. to David Prowse. Yeah. He's 85, good life. He will always be known as Darth Vader, and he was a very popular figure around like Star Wars conventions and stuff like that. So we'll miss him.
It will be. It's be sad without him here. But, 85 is good. It was good long run, I think.
Yeah, and we lost. I'm blanking on his name. The actor that played Chewbacca just a couple years ago.
Yeah, I forgot his name. So too. I got to meet him.
We're starting to lose out. Carrie Fisher's gone now. So we're definitely. We're losing some of our Star Wars heroes from when we were kids. We've still got Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford still chugging along.
Mark Hamill can't go. I need my Joker. I will cry without my Joker. That's what I need. I need Joker.
It's okay.
So, moving on, though, to some happier news.
Yeah.
Jeremy Renner has teased the first picture of Clint Barton's return. Yeah,
in the Hawkeye Disney Plus series. I think they have begun shooting that. Yeah. And so he took, I think, a selfie of just... kind of, it looks like...
he's kind of beaten up.
Yeah, he's just gotten into a fight kind of thing. So he's got, some bruising and cuts and things like that. And took a selfie and posted that on his Instagram. So
I'm excited they're shooting that one already. Yeah. And it's not going to be WandaVision. Yeah. I had to actually stop and think of that.
That's the one we're getting first, yeah.
So, but I'm glad that we're getting more news pushing forward on it. That he's ready to film, and he's been filming apparently, so I'm excited for that. I'm happy that they're going to move forward with it.
I think there's a lot of really cool stuff coming to Disney Plus that I'm excited for, and Hawkeye is one of them. So.
And next year, WandaVision is in January.
January 15th is the premiere of WandaVision. So
I'll be excited for that one.
We're going to get that show. We still don't know exactly when we're going to get Hawkeye and Winter Soldier, but we're going to get that. Of course, we know that Loki is getting set to film. Hawkeye's filming. We know that we're going to get She-Hulk. We're going to get Moon Knight. There's a lot coming down the pipeline in Disney Plus. So it's exciting stuff.
There's a lot going on with it. I'm excited for it. And of course, keep an eye on our channel. Right now, we're doing the Mandalorian reviews.
Yep.
That's coming out. Spoiler reviews, as well as a look back on all of Pixar's movie Up Till Soul, coming out December 25th. So check those out, and I'm sure we'll do stuff for WandaVision and everyone else too.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll do spoiler reviews of the Disney shows as well.
Oh yeah, so
all those Marvel shows.
Check those out and let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Moving forward though, Aquaman and Mera, in the comics at least, have finally gotten married.
Cool. After
DC has banned marriages in the comics for the last 7 years. Yeah, 7 years. So they're now married, officially married, which is funny because like.
All you Burger King fans out there going, yay, Aquaman. I don't care.
Aquaman won, yay!
Oh, we just had a Hawkeye story too. This is a Burger King centric episode.
It's Burger King related. So
that's funny.
I want to see Burger King like in the background somewhere. That's where they got married at, really.
Oh.
I know in Marvel we've had, characters get married and all that. Like Spider-Man's got married to Mary Jane, but that's been retconned to not have happened now. I believe Sue and Richards got
Richards.
Yeah. They got married, I believe, but I don't know if that's
married all the time.
Yeah, I think that's been retconned like 2 or 3 times, I think. Sure. So they never like stay married.
Batman's married to his work.
He's married to his work. Yeah, he is, and that never changes though. He never divorces his work.
No.
I mean, yeah. Did he didn't marry? No, he never married Talia.
No.
They didn't get married. But yeah, like no one ever gets married, it feels like, in comics. And if they do, it's usually to move a plot point, like someone dies. Like they die afterwards. It's like, oh well, you knew that was short lived. So I think it's cool to see finally them getting married. She's been the queen of Atlantis for years and all that. So it's like, okay, cool. Like we finally get like an actual marriage though with them.
Not a big fan of Aquaman, so I don't really care.
The Burger King, that's why. Nobody cares about Burger King.
Actually, I prefer Burger King to McDonald's, but I don't prefer Aquaman to Batman. So
that is true. But I think that was like the major stuff.
Yeah, the other big story was that we got official confirmation that Mads Mikkelsen has been cast in the Fantastic Beasts franchise.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So we knew that Johnny Depp had departed the role of Grindelwald. So they have now cast Mads Mikkelsen. You'll know him, of course, as Caecilius from Doctor Strange. Ooh. He was also in Rogue One, and of course he was the villain in Casino Royale for the James Bond first movie with Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
So he's been a working actor for a while. He's played both heroes and villains, but he's kind of got a villainous feel to him. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think
that'd be cool.
It works.
I think so. I want to comment on one thing too.
Okay.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I don't know if you keep up with wrestling at all, or if we've seen his movies. I'm assuming, right?
Some of them. I try not to. He's not a very good actor. I said it.
I don't associate with him, Rock, so if you come and hurt him, I'm sorry. That wasn't me.
Not worried about it.
I think The Rock also just doesn't care. He's just be like, yeah, whatever. I make enough money. So he had his own blimp, or his own, like, balloon, I guess you could say, for the parade.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever saw it.
Oh, for the Macy's Day Parade?
Yes. Did you see it?
No, I did not.
I'm going to show while Robert looks at that, like, random 2-second thing. That's it. So back in like
the
man,
90s, that's like early era Rock.
Yes, this was
with like the fanny pack and everything.
There's a meme of him out there because he took that picture, and that's the picture.
That's funny.
So he has a new show coming to NBC called Young Rock, and so for the Macy's Day Parade, they put that balloon out of him.
That's funny.
The Rock is seeing himself blown up as a fanny pack. He sees it. I'm not worried about what he thought. I mean, it's whatever. You can go read his Instagram to see that.
Sure.
I think it's just funny that. It's not like the cool, big, like bulky looking guy. It's the, like you said, 90s fanny pack, black shirt, jeans, gold chain even around his neck.
Oh, yeah.
This is like, wow. Like you could get the good, like, I'm The Rock, I'm huge and bulky. It's like, no, there's this little one. So if you want to see what he said, go to his Instagram. You can see exactly what he commented to it. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to comment that he now has his own. What was it? Balloon, float, whatever the hell they call those things flying?
Yeah, I think they're floats.
Yeah, so he has his own one now. So I think that's cool. I want my own float. I want one day. Blowing up there, Macy's Day Parade.
All right.
I don't know what it'd be.
I don't know.
But I want that.
Just a bitter old balloon, probably.
Yeah, pretty much. How do you capture bitter and old and put that in a balloon and throw it up in the Macy's Day Parade for you guys? That's what I want. Just somebody do this for me, please. I will love you forever, and I will be eternally grateful. So, moving on to our last segment.
Ooh.
Cereal is a soup.
Yes.
Last week was, could Batman ever beat Superman? I said no. And no matter what situation, I don't think Batman could do it.
Yep.
Robert disagreed.
I mean, I just feel like, again, I don't feel strongly that Batman would always beat Superman. I just feel like there's a scenario that exists that he could.
And who knows? So this week, you have something, though, because I couldn't think of anything. So I got. Cool. What do you got?
I got. I don't know how controversial of an opinion this is with you, but I'm gonna go out there and say that I think Michael Keaton is not a good Batman.
And Michael Keaton was
the first Batman that we got back in 1989, and then in Batman Returns in 1992. I think he's not a good Batman. I think he's not a good representation of who Batman is. I think it's a really kind of odd and weird performance in odd and weird movies that I don't think hold up at all. And I also think that his portrayal of Batman is just really, it's not who I would picture Batman as. He's very he's like not really a good fighter at all.
Yeah.
He struggles fighting an old man in Jack Nicholson's Joker. He's kind of goofy, and he also even his Bruce Wayne is a little bit off, although I think his Bruce Wayne is better than his Batman.
Okay, I was about to ask that too.
But I think that he doesn't really capture the spirit of Batman for me at all. And so I think he's actually, outside of George Clooney, who I think is easily the worst Batman.
Oh God, yeah.
I think he's at the bottom. I think Val Kilmer has a better Batman. I think Christian Bale has a better Batman. I think Ben Affleck has a better Batman, and I am hoping that Robert Pattinson has a better Batman. I think Michael Keaton's Batman kind of sucks.
So are we just looking at just Batman or Bruce and Batman? Because to me, those are always two different characters you play.
I agree. I think I'm looking at just his Batman. I think his Bruce Wayne was okay. I think his Bruce Wayne is still probably. We hardly got any Ben Affleck Bruce Wayne, right. So it's kind of hard to even say that.
I'll give you that.
I think George Clooney's Bruce Wayne is awful. Mm-hmm. I think he's at the bottom of both Batman and Bruce Wayne lists. I don't think that's a controversial opinion, though.
No, I agree.
But other than that, hates it. I think Val Kilmer probably gave the best Bruce Wayne performance.
Okay.
I think Christian Bale's is then probably next, and then Keaton and Affleck are kind of similar.
Okay.
But maybe Keaton's a little bit better there. But yeah, I think specifically I'm talking about his Batman performances that I think it's weird. And he's not, the thing about Batman is, he's a great detective, he's a great fighter, and I don't see that at all with Michael Keaton.
I'm trying to remember the movies, because it's been a bit.
They don't hold up.
They don't? I haven't watched them.
Not in my opinion.
And see, and you know what, but I have to agree with you, though, because the fact is, when I go back to those movies and I start thinking, I remember Penguin, I remember Joker, I remember Selena, Catwoman,
mm-hmm.
I remember those actors and actress. And those stand out for me. Because Jack Nicholson, let's face it, he plays a great crazy man.
Sure.
I mean, I love Jack Nicholson. And they did a good job. To me, and again, I'm not to go on a Joker rant, but he's a good Joker for that time.
Yeah.
You can't, like I always say, you can't put Heath Ledger Joker back then, it wouldn't have worked. I think
sure.
What he was for that time was perfect. But that's all I remember from that movie is Jack Nicholson. Every scene, I'm like, okay, no, that's Joker.
Mm-hmm.
And then same thing when I start moving over to the next one, I remember Penguin scenes, I remember Catwoman scenes, but I really don't remember him. The only scene I remember is him putting the things of how many bad guys there were and throwing the Batarang around in that circle or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's all I remember. But yeah, I don't remember him really fighting anybody. So yeah, it's forgettable.
Yeah, and there aren't any cool fight scenes with Michael Keaton's Batman.
No.
And part of that is, I'm sure, choices made by Tim Burton.
Yeah.
He didn't really focus on the hand-to-hand combat. But, when I think of Batman, that's what I think of.
Exactly.
And he doesn't have any cool scenes.
I mean, and even the scene where he's supposed to be the big reveal to Selena that he's Batman is awkward to me. Is it yeah, it's her.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he's ripped the whole, it's just say you're Bruce. Why do I have to, hold on, this rubber is really terrible to rip off. It's awkward looking.
Yeah, it's a weird.
I get what they were trying to go with, but I agree with you. I really don't think you're wrong. I'm trying to, like I said, I can't remember his performance.
Yeah.
I remember him a little bit better as Bruce.
I mean, I feel like there are people that grew up on those movies that love them because that was, Batman brought to life.
Yeah.
And I came to those movies a little bit later. Like I had seen bits and pieces of them, but I didn't watch either of them until 89 and 92.
92, okay.
And I didn't see either one until I was like a teenager. And by that point, we'd had, the X-Men movies had been out. Even the first Spider-Man movie was out, I think, by the time I saw these Michael Keaton Batmans.
God, so you were way later, yeah.
And it was just kind of like, I don't really care for these, and it was just a weird portrayal of Batman, and I don't think it's good.
No.
I think it's just not, and this is a problem of all the movie Batman, is that they're kind of all killers. The only one that even really gives lip service to not being a killer is Christian Bale, but he also kills. So
that's true.
I feel like, and again, that's a major problem for me because I go, but that's like kind of Batman's thing is that he doesn't kill. So
and that's true, he doesn't.
Now that's mainly the creators. It's not necessarily on the actors.
Yeah, because they just follow the script.
But I do think that his portrayal of Batman is just it's not for me.
It's not. I mean, I remember watching him when I was younger, probably mid 90s. I probably was like 95 when I first watched it, so I was probably almost about 10, and I remember really liking them. And I think the last time I saw him was about maybe 5-10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I really just didn't care for it as much anymore. But at this point, like you said, by 2010, we already had Iron Man. We've already had Spider-Mans. I love The Crow, so for me, Crow's a big one. And that was, when The Crow came out, they even titled, one of the promo things was Darker Than the Bat. And I was like, well, that Batman wasn't even that dark, really, because it was kind of comedic humor in the first one with the Joker.
Yeah.
And then the second one was
just... is really weird.
Yeah, it's just really, really dumb.
With a bunch of villains, way too many villains. And,
Penguin, Selena Kyle, and he had the other guy, I can't remember his name now.
Max Schreck.
Yeah, which he's not even in the comics, I don't think. I think he was just for that
he
film.
was created for the movie, I think.
And it was just so she could have an origin, essentially. It's really all he was.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of the evil businessman. And of course, you bring in Christopher Walken, and who doesn't love Christopher Walken?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
But, yeah, no, that's...
I have to agree with you, though.
I'm not a fan of Keaton's Batman. I was gonna just say, I think that 1989 movie is overrated. Yeah. But I really kind of hone in on... It's really... I don't care for Keaton's Batman.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot in that movie that I still don't connect too much. But I think that, I think you've got, a goofy Commissioner Gordon, and you're like, what is this all about? So there's a lot of weird stuff in that movie. But yeah, Keaton's not my Batman. I think outside of George Clooney, I think he's the worst one.
Well, I have to agree with that. So I guess we agree on this cereal as a soup. So what do you think? Because like you said, there's a lot of people who love Michael Keaton. They consider him the best Batman.
And I love Michael Keaton. Don't get me wrong. I mean, give me some Beetlejuice. Give me him as Vulture. Give me
I'm as Vulture.
A lot of great stuff that Michael Keaton has given us over the years.
Yeah,
Batman's just not one of it for me.
Yeah, let us know what you think. Are we wrong on that one? Is it even controversial? I mean, do all of you disagree that he is a terrible Batman? Do you guys agree to that and say, hey, you know what? They're right. Let us know what you think below. A little bit shorter episode, hopefully, guys, and hopefully you all enjoyed it. Let us know if all the segments that we did. If you like some of these other ones, maybe we'll start switching them out more so you can see different ones out there. Let us know what you think below. Stay safe, have fun, stay geeky, and everyone get your geek on, guys, and have a great day.
Bye.